Hello Pisces. I hope you had a wonderful summer. So this is your tarot reading for September 2016. I'm using a different deck. This is a very popular deck with tarot readers. It is the Witch's Tarot. So some of you probably saw this in other tarot readings as well. I just flipped a card over. Working with a new deck of cards is always interesting. Especially if you're a tarot reader, each deck of cards has its own personality. So it's going to be very interesting. Okay, here's the card. You have a Knight of Cups that flipped over, but I'm going to put it back in the deck. Okay. And this is a Four of Pentacles that flipped over. Now the cards have been cleared already with the crystal, so I'm just shuffling for Pisces before I cut the cards. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have. Your first card is Seven of Cups. Okay. And usually this is the card of procrastination. You see the wizard here beckoning to choose a cup. Okay. That there are several choices you can make. And as I said, sometimes this card means procrastination because you're unable to focus on one thing. You're avoiding a certain issue. So there's sort of like a lack of commitment or focus going on here. This is a Five of Swords. Okay, and you don't have any reversals. I'm not doing any, I'm using reversals. So this Five of Swords means there's conflict. And then this is a Ten of Cups. This is the Happily Ever After card. You have the Sun. So things are looking pretty happy for you. Then there's a Four of Cups, which I think is interesting. And this Four of Cups is right in the middle. I have a Two of Swords reversed. A Knight of Pentacles. That's reversed as well. A Knight of Cups. So we have two knights here. And then a Four of Wands reversed. Okay. And this is usually the card of celebration, joy. And this usually happens when there's been an obstacle or you've gone through a very difficult time. The Four of Wands is usually that guarantee of happiness after that difficult time, but it is still reversed. Okay. All right, so having said that, I will pull the outcome card at the end of the main reading. What I'm seeing here, my first impressions, looking at the cards together, is someone, you have a lot of cups here. You actually have four out of these 9 cards, you have 4 cups. And the cups are telling me a very important story. The tarot is telling me an important story with these cups. Lack of focus, 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups, commitment to a marriage or a relationship. There's a lack of focus, and then there's a demand for commitment to a serious relationship or family. Then when we get to this 4 of Cups in the middle, we see unhappiness, detachment, um, discontent. You see this little boy here ignoring the happiness that this nymph, or looks like a mermaid, is trying to offer him. You know, he just wants to be by himself. He doesn't want to be bothered, which I think is maybe one of the issues going on here, that we Pisces are dealing with emotional detachment. Someone who keeps pulling away, as indicated by this 7 of Swords. These cups are sort of like, they're almost chaotic when you go from lack of focus, and then you have the commitment and happiness of 10 of Cups. But we remember, when I come back to this row, we also have the conflict of 5 of Swords right in the middle of this. So we go to 4 of Cups, where someone is emotionally detached. And then as we head into your future, you have this Knight of Cups, this very emotional, moody person. Okay, and once again, it seems as if there's a conflict, because this Knight of Cups is next to a Knight of Pentacles reversed. And also you have a Wands reversed. So things in this situation are emotionally topsy-turvy. It feels like, from my first impression, there's a need for focus and commitment, but in the relationship, things never come together, or in this situation. And I'm not going directly into an interpretation of a relationship just yet, but I will say that just based on the cups alone, relationship or no relationship, there's someone, if there's a situation where emotionally there needs to be more focus and commitment, and there's a lot at stake, as indicated by this 10 of Cups, but then it feels like someone's giving up and just pulling away, or they needed a break. And then this Knight of Cups is about someone offering love. So it's very interesting, especially since cups represent water Pisces. And so maybe this is about what you're going through emotionally, the emotional detachment, um, the ups and downs. It seems like you've got a great relationship or potential for a relationship going on from the past. The Sun is saying that there's a potential for happiness here. Okay, so that's my first impression, are from all the cups, Pisces, that you have going on here, which are probably revealing what's going on emotionally with you. And there's a saying that, be careful what you wish for, you might get it. It almost seems as if maybe you now might have a relationship. This might apply to some of you, that there is a relationship, but you're not finding as much happiness or joy as you hoped you would. Now, the major arcana here, you only have one, and that's the Sun. And that can be a pretty nice card to have. Sometimes this is the only card you need. So the Sun is saying to you, Pisces, What the tarot is saying to you through the sun is that you have this potential for happiness. The potential for happiness is here. But it seems as if there are decisions that need to be made, a full commitment. And I think that when the sun is paired with the Ten of Cups, that the tarot is sort of revealing that, hey, there could be a good thing going on, but a lot of the emotional chaos that might be going on with this Seven of Cups and this Four of Cups here, the withdrawal and lack of focus, are affecting this Ten of Cups, this potential for happiness. And then, so in the future, emotionally, Pisces, I think that I see you trying to make the relationship work, the situation work, but it seems like certain factors are against you here. Okay? But I feel, based on the fact that the sun is present in your spread, I feel like things are going to be okay. Okay? I think that there's just difficulty being on the same page with a particular person. You're not on the same page with a person, or you keep having conflicts with someone. Maybe they're the ones who are not being committed enough to you. Okay. And so that was your major arcana. It's the only one you have. Going back to this first row, that takes us to that Seven of Cups, the lack of focus, Five of Swords, fighting and conflict. Then a Ten of Cups, a return to happiness. This is in the past. Heading into the present, we're emotionally detached right now. Maybe it's because of these underlying conflicts that keep coming up. So when we come from the sun, we go to the Four of Cups, and then this Two of Swords, that's reverse. Once again, this Two of Swords is pretty interesting because it can mean someone unwilling to make a decision to choose a sword, and they're blindfolded. When this is reversed, this can actually mean that the decision, that there's no wishy-washiness. It can actually mean the Rider-Waite actually has a different interpretation to where it could mean someone's lying to you. But when this Two of Swords is reversed, it can mean that someone is making a definitive decision. That maybe, they were between two swords and they couldn't choose one, and they didn't have any direction. This Two of Swords reverse also means that there is direction, that someone or a situation is no longer going to be in limbo. Okay? Maybe you won't be in limbo because this Four of Cups, it's sort of like, I'm checking out. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone. And so this Two of Swords is an interesting energy here because I'm not seeing a lack of making a decision. I'm just kind of seeing an issue of someone just getting up off the pot. You know that saying, use the pot or get off of it. Well, this Two of Swords seems, that's what this Two of Swords is saying to me. Okay, so there seems to be, I keep getting you trying to emotionally find emotional balance in the relationship, Pisces. I feel like for this month, your emotions are going to be a huge issue here. A lot of it is going to come down to you. It seems like you're the one who might be, trying to figure out what you want to do in this relationship instead of waiting for someone else. And I think that's why all these cups have shown up. So when we get to this last row, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And when this is reversed, it can actually mean someone who's not being very practical. Pentacles are a very slow energy, by the way. They're the slowest energy. Earth is very solid and slow and steady. So when I see this Knight of Pentacles showing up in reverse, it means that there's someone who's just very careless, who doesn't think things through. This can also be you. Don't assume that just because it's not cups that it doesn't affect you or isn't related to you at all. But it does mean that in the future, in this situation, there's going to be an issue of not thinking things through, carelessness, making an impulsive mistake instead of taking time to look at the consequences of a particular decision. And this is balanced with the Knight of Cups, which means that maybe emotions are overruling common sense here, or that you're having a conflict with another person here, that once again, it seems like you and someone else might not be on the same page. But once again, it can also mean that there's a decision or situation that's being led by emotions instead of careful thinking. And so what this is leading to is this Four of Wands. Instead of celebration, what we seem to have now is more conflict. But it can also mean you're still struggling through the situation, trying to work things out. The struggle continues. That's what this card is saying. So let me shuffle for an outcome card. Okay. Okay, the outcome card that I have is very interesting. Six of Swords. A travel. It can mean actual travel over water. Someone is going to be traveling. Or someone emotionally is just going to distance themselves. This can also mean emotionally healing and removing yourself from a situation, just getting to a better place emotionally. You're leaving a very painful psychological situation. But as an outcome, in light of everything I've looked at here, this card is telling me that with all the struggles and conflicts and fighting, there might be someone who's going to leave. There might be some distance. Someone, it could be you, because there's water here, right? You might need to find some emotional healing and distance to get back on track in this situation. So just remember, the sun, remember the sun is sort of like a guarantee that things will be okay, but there's still some struggling here, that whatever's happening here is happening for good. That's how I see the sun whenever it shows up, with a lot of conflicting cards here, with struggle and fighting. The sun seems to be saying in the middle of all of this, everything that's happening here, as far as the struggles, are happening for a good reason. And so in the future, it may be necessary for someone to get distance, to remove themselves. Okay? And once again, I keep thinking it's you. I think it's you that's emotionally unhappy you're not happy where you are in this relationship or this situation, and you're thinking, okay, I may need to walk away. Okay. But it can also be an emotional interpretation, meaning that someone's not physically walking away, but all these swords that are in the boat over the water, you're traveling over water, but you're bringing this pain with you. This is something that the tarot seems to be saying to you, Pisces. You're going to need to work this out in the future. It's going to be getting in the way of all your relationships and happiness until you can sort of get distance, because it seems like you're going through a lot of emotional pain as well. Okay? So that is your reading for September, Pisces. Once again, a big thank you to everyone for your comments and your donations and contacting me for readings. Um, I hope to see you soon. I hope that some of you contact me for a reading, and I will also see you on YouTube. So take care, and I wish you love and light.